Yeah, we're going to sit down today and show you folks out there exactly how to put together a south side street roll. There's basically three types that are in use today. I'll start out with the easy one, which is the chump roll, then your regular street roll, and then your closer roll. In these hard economic times, I mean, the old proverb of trying to judge someone by their dress is not applicable anymore. What women and other closers are looking for is a decent street roll. And to build what I call a chump roll or a junior street roll requires about $42. I usually use a little filler in my chump roll, and for this purpose I'll use some Monopoly money as my filler. I recommend the green 20s because it blends in fairly nicely with the color of the dollar bills, and it'll add some girth to your ultimate roll. It's a tricky roll to put together. I start out with normally about $17 in $1 bills, and then what I'll do is I'll back those up with my Monopoly money. And you want to build your roll from your lower denominations up to your upper denominations. And then for the junior street roll, I usually throw in a couple fives to disguise the ones, and I can throw a 10 in there and a 20. And when you take this thing, roll it up into a nice little wad, a junior street roll for you, and we basically put a green rubber band around it. If you're down in the club, take this thing out and it looks like a wad of money. The problem with a junior street roll and the fillers is when you're going to pay and this thing flips open and the Monopoly money comes out like that. If you're with a woman or you're in a high stake poker game, it can get you some serious trouble. So I don't really recommend this roll. I'd invest a little bit more money into at least just a normal street roll. And in building a street roll, leave the Monopoly money completely out. You don't need the filler. I mean, if you're on a budget and you need a roll, you can roll with the chump roll. But I recommend just the regular standard Philly street roll for most general purposes. With the Philly street roll, I use about $40 worth of ones, and then I'll lace that up with some fives, maybe about 4 10s, a couple 20s, top that bad boy off with a 50, and then throw the kingpin, the Ben Franklin, on top. Then again, using the same green rubber band, roll this bad boy up and put your band on it. You pull this bad boy out in the club and buy some broad a drink, you're probably taking her home with you. It's a nice general appropriate street roll, but it's really not the state-of-the-art roll that I like to use myself. Now this roll, the roll that I'm going to build you next, which is the closer roll, South Philly closer roll, is impressive in girth. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and use a full 70 $1 bills. We'll go ahead and mix in our 10s, our 5s, we'll throw in 20s, and then when you start getting into these larger bills, make sure they're face up. A lot of people recognize these dead presidents' faces, and you got them on backwards. The roll just doesn't get the appearance that you want. Then I take and I lace up a couple 50s. This thing comes unassembled in a bar, or you have a street roll malfunction, you're not going to look like a chump with this roll. And then I usually top it off with about 4 Ben Franklins. You take this bad boy, you roll it up to a nice, neat roll. It looks like about $7,000 to $8,000 in this roll. If you do get rolled, you probably only lost $500. But you pull this bad boy out in a bar or a high stake poker game, and it's a winning boy's hand. And that's how you build a street roll.